So, welcome to our Be the Sun, Not the Salt podcast. This is another in our series, How can we practice being heliotropic? And this topic is giving feedback that builds other people up. I'm joined by my co host, Connie Fontaine, Chief Super Spreader, and she is an expert at giving feedback that builds people up.
Definitely. I don't know if I ever feel like an expert because I continue to learn. This is one, and I feel really blessed that I get this opportunity to continue to mentor and lead and do this at my stage of career. But it's an art. And it's an art that I would recommend everyone get really good at it and feel good. And I think feedback requires, we're talking about work, we're talking about with our kids, with our spouses. This is something you learn even at the cashier, with the cashier at the grocery store.
And feedback, when someone says, I want to give you some feedback, it immediately gets your hair on
Right.
the back of your neck standing up, because it usually sounds like, oh, you want to just give me some constructive feedback.
And it's gonna be immediately negative. Like, the word
Yeah.
connotation sometimes
Yeah.
for people is very negative.
And this specifically is feedback that builds people up, which may
Right.
include the way you're doing something is suboptimal, could be
Right.
better. But what we're remembering, here's the way to think about it for me anyway, which is what is the goal? The goal is the person walks away going, thank you. I'm really glad you told me that. I can use that. And you said it and you deliver it in a way that I really appreciate you telling me. Nobody usually tells me stuff like that, and I really appreciate it. So that's what you're after. You're after the person going, damn, that was hard to hear perhaps, but I'm really glad you told me.
Accountability with love. We talk
Right.
about that a lot in our team that we work with at home, and this is a feedback, and holding people accountable doesn't mean you're being mean. It means you are giving a gift. If you do it well, you're giving a gift to the person, to your point, something that's actionable, something that's concrete. And I think that's some of the principles of good feedback. Let's talk about that. I mean, one, it has to be specific. Two, I think it should be timely. That's
Yeah.
one of the things that in corporate America and maybe in general, we have a tendency to wanna not we, some people have a tendency to want to delay that feedback because it's uncomfortable to provide feedback, and you're not doing that person a service to wait and let them continue to do something that maybe is rubbing people the wrong way, for
Or
instance.
rubbing you the wrong way. Look,
Rubbing you the wrong way, yeah, because it impacts your relationship.
yep. So how do you give feedback? First of all, you have to really think about it, to your point. How can I deliver this message in a way that will land and go in? And there's lots of ways to do it. But first, we start with an internal. I have to tell this person something. I want to tell this person something that will uplift them. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, what could I say and how could I say it briefly, concisely, in a timely manner that they would go, got it, that I can immediately use. It's not character. It's not in general. It's, you always, none of that. Let me tell you something that will help you to be better after this conversation. One of the phrases and word tracks that I've used in professional context is, I want to talk to you about something that's small, but it's not so small that I can ignore it. I don't want you to ignore it. It's small, but I don't want you to make it bigger than it is. I want you to make it as simple, as small and reasonable as you can get it. Like, oh, okay. So
Right.
here's the thing that you are doing or did that I think you could do better. And I know you can because I've seen you do it. And this is how I think you could do this more effectively, at least for me, and I think for the organization. But keep it simple, keep it concise, keep it behaviorally, keep it timely. Don't make it bigger or smaller than it need be.
Right, and if you have a recommendation or you have, like, and this would be better if because sometimes it's easier to leave somebody thinking about it themselves, but it's not better for them. And I would say that one of the other ways to give feedback, and I personally think that this is the best way if you can. Some ways you have to jump, sometimes you have to from an urgency standpoint, you have to jump right in and be direct, but also if it's around a presentation. You and I had this conversation once. I have gotten to know you so well, I have a tendency to be like, well, he knows he's really good. So I jump right into, hey, next time I'd do it this way. And you're like, oh, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for the great uplifting feedback. And the reality is you should always, if you can, start with what's great.
And mean it.
I love, yes. And well, yeah, right. It's got to be authentic. Otherwise it's going to come across. They're going to smell it right away. But I love the way that you presented this material. It was organized. It was succinct. One thing I'd recommend for the future, if you did it this way, this would work so much better for you in the way you deliver.
Period.
Way.
That's a perfect thing.
So much better than jumping right in. And, have you walked off stage and I would have said, well, I've got this small thing I want to, I prefer to the way you coached me to say, no, how about you say, good job, and let's do it this week next time.
So giving feedback after a presentation is really easy if you understand how to do it. Here's what I absolutely loved about your presentation with great specificity. Now, if you want, and if you're interested, a couple of things I think would make it much better. Let me give them to you. But don't forget, on whole, it was fantastic, or it was good, it was great, it was wonderful. And that's the way you deliver, in my mind, really useful, constructive, good, uplifting feedback. I've gotten so much feedback on my giving of feedback to people who've given presentations. I've done that for many, many years. And, you basically state some of the most obvious and simple and easy to do things so that it's not a bridge too far. You're not saying, why can't you be taller?
Well, and also think contextually about who the person is, right? It has to be actionable. But one of the things that I think we also need to consider, especially you and I, we deal with all levels of people. So we're giving feedback to senior executives. We're giving feedback to people who are junior or new to us. And I think I'm always a little more cautious. If it's somebody who is not used to receiving feedback, especially direct, timely, it's to remind them, I'm somebody who does this. Are you interested in feedback right now? Or I would like to provide some feedback. Are you open to hearing some right now? And also I say, I'm someone who loves to give feedback. I really want you to be better. I'm on your side. I'm on your team. This is meant to be something that's a gift. And I think that helps people who are not used to it. Senior executives are like, it's a little more water off their back usually. But I think it matters who that person is, how we handle it.
And feedback is such a loaded word. So you can over-index on, I really want you to get what I'm trying to give you, because I know feedback sounds so negative, but I don't want this to be negative. I want you to be uplifted after this conversation. Why not start with the end? I really want you to feel great after this conversation.
I love that.
That is my intention, and it's my job to deliver that, not your job to receive what I'm telling you. I got to make it great, because that is my job, my purpose, my intention. Now let's see if I can deliver that.
Right. Now we do that better at work than we do at home sometimes with kids as they were growing up, but we're much more dialed in at work. And I guess I'd recommend we all think about this. This is with our partners, with our friends, with our kids, no matter who it is.
Yeah, I can't redo my parenting feedback sessions. Man, oh man, I wish I could, because I would have way more done what we're talking about. Literally said, listen, I want to tell you something, and I want you to feel great after this. And it might not be easy to hear, but it's small, but I don't want to make it unimportant. Please say please and thank you to the server. Please, it's important for you, for me, for them, for the world. Now, my kids do that now. They're not kids, they're grown-ups. But so many things I could have done better. That's okay. I can still do a good job of improving the way I give feedback to uplift people, period.
That's right. And that's the point of these sessions for us and for our listeners, is to just get better every day. And we're still not experts. We're still work in progress, and hope you listen along with us and continue to grow and share as well. So thank you for listening.